Don't you think that this is a really amazing time of year? I always find that September, particularly mid to end of September, is like a fresh new start. It's a bit like a January, I think. And it's also a time when things start to get a bit exciting, they ramp up, things are pretty busy, but in a really good way. And I actually quite like it when you start to feel that autumn feeling coming. You know, when the mornings are getting, yeah, a little bit darker. By the way, if you do find dark mornings harder, just remember you're only ever one workout away for feeling in a completely different place. The hardest part is getting up. Once you've got up, you've done your workout, you feel incredible for the rest of the day. Never forget that. Just the best way to set yourself up, particularly in winter and particularly if you struggle with dark mornings. Just get up, just do something positive at the start of the day, move your body. But no, I kind of like it. I like it when it's going a little bit darker, a little bit cooler. The leaves start to fall, crisp on the floor. And I don't know, like the home comforts, I guess. I really like it. I just think that this is a really, really fresh time and fresh start. And for us, since we've got back, big news, team. We won Best Holistic Workout at the British Fitness Awards for Yogascape this weekend. My gosh. So me and Will went down to Liverpool. It was the most amazing event. It was so professional, but really, really lovely, really personal, so slick. So well done to Jace for organising it all. He's been doing that for years now. It's the first year we've ever been and ever been nominated, actually. And so to win is a huge, huge deal. So that was incredible. And if you haven't tried Yogascape yet, definitely do. So that is our branded trademark yoga to music program. And it's really good for those who struggle to be mindful, to get into the moment, and also know that they need to improve their balance, their mobility, their mind body connection. It's so good, and core strength as well. It's a very, very good class and challenging in a different way. And I created it out of a need for my squaddies and then also for myself as well, because I was a bit of a cardio bunny and needed something that would make me slow down a little bit and actually make me do more mind body and look after my body in a different way. And so I made it, shared it with my squaddies, because a lot of people were quite similar to me. And actually, it's become this incredible thing, amazing thing that complements so, so many other disciplines. Anyway, that's Yogascape. And then I've been diving straight into corporate workshops. So last week I was out at a client doing workshops all day. Yesterday I was doing workshops online. It's been so busy, but really, really good and really exciting. So if your business are looking for anything well-being wise, like workshops, like classes, or one-off well-being weeks, etc., get in touch, because this is actually a really good time to either host one or to be preparing for the new year. And the end of January is a really, really good time to be launching things like this. So just get in touch with me. We do absolutely loads. But yeah, it's been crazy. And we've had the new Stronger, the new yoga skate that we've been doing. Tech Will's been helping me in class with some of the yoga skate moves that, obviously, being almost, well, 32 weeks now, I can't do some of the things, obviously, like lying on your belly and things like that. I can't do. But he's been helping me. He's been my body, which has been interesting. He's enjoying it. Anyway, we've got some good questions to do, team. And if you are a squatter, you're listening to this, it's the last few days to book onto Baby Bell's baby shower. It'd be lovely to see you there. Just going to do like a get together, a bit of a breakfast. And if you can't make it, don't forget we've got the Christmas social as well. So we're going to do some carols with Sarah. All right, and the food bank collection, of course, which we do every year. Now, broken into three different sections. It's going to be a bit of a short fired one today. So we've got more of a lifestyle section, lifestyle nutrition. Then we've got a bit about classes and routine. And then the last bit is about niggles. We all go through probably periods where, we didn't really intend to, but we end up having a niggle here or there, or a twinge. So we're going to talk about that and, what you should do with your training if and when that happens. So let's start with the big question. Is it bad to miss meals when I'm trying to lose fat and build strength? Now, in short, no, if it works for you. Now, this is actually really quite a big question with quite a lot of layers. The most important thing for weight loss is your overall energy balance. So your energy balance is calories in versus calories out. If calories in equals calories out, you are in maintenance. You're in a maintenance phase. And calorie is just simply a unit of energy. That's all it is. I know there's a lot of stigma around the word calorie, but it is just a unit of energy. If your calories out are greater than calories in, you will lose weight. If your calories in are greater than calories out, you will put weight on. And for some people, that's a good thing. And for other people, they want to lose weight. For other people, they want to maintain. So you've got to choose what's right for you, of course. But in this example, wanting to lose weight, the most important thing is your overall energy balance. Some people find it easier by essentially missing a meal or basically fasting and pushing the meal to later on in the day. For some people, that works really well to manage their calories. For other people, by doing that, makes them overeat later on in the day. And for other people as well, it can affect their hormones by doing that. And for some people, it can affect their training and the amount of effort they put into their training. So it really depends on you and you as an individual. For example, if I were to get up and do a workout in a fasted state, so having missed my breakfast, I always eat before I do a class, by the way, then I would feel it could be partially psychological, but I would feel like I just didn't have enough to give to that session. I would always want to train in a fueled state, but that's just me, and that's how I like to do it. I feel like I can put more effort into it. I feel like I'm more focused in my workouts, but other people don't feel like that. Some people, if they miss a meal, end up overeating later on in the day. So their blood sugar can drop through the floor, and then they might be looking at, getting to 11 o'clock, making food choices that aren't necessarily in line with their goals or kind of snacking their way through the day. The most important thing is that you are nourishing your body. And if you are looking to improve your muscle mass, you want to be making sure that you're having a good level of protein over the day too. So you want to be aiming for about 1.5 grams per kilo of body weight of protein. So take your body weight in kilos, times it by 1.5. That's how much protein you would want to eat over the course of a day. Don't forget that the body can only absorb around about 25 to 30 grams of protein at a time for protein synthesis, i.e., repairing your muscles. And we need to do this in order to at least maintain our muscle mass and actually, improve it as well, our lean muscle mass. So just bear that in mind. So you're going to want to drip feed it through the day. And actually, if missing a meal makes that hard for you and you're almost missing out on that window to get your protein in, then I would be thinking, okay, well, what best serves me for my goals right now? And also, why am I missing a meal? Is it because I'm just literally genuinely not hungry or I feel sick eating at that time of the day? Or is it because I'm so busy that I don't have time to nourish myself? Why are you missing a meal as well? Like generally speaking, I would say you make sure that you do have three nourishing meals and one or two snacks as well in your day if you need to, particularly if you're an active person. But it just, as I said, it really, really is so context dependent. But that is one thing to think about as well. How are you going to spread your protein out through your day to best support your muscles and also to support the weight loss as well? When we're eating high protein and we are drip feeding it through the day, you will feel more satiated. So you will also feel more full as well as supporting your body through your goals. So it's a bit of an individual one, but hopefully that gives you a bit of food for thought. And if you are somebody who does do that because you're just so busy, what can you do to set yourself up for the next day? Say you normally end up skipping breakfast and you're pushing your first meal back to lunchtime and you don't really mean to, you just haven't really got time, but your main focus is to lose weight and maintain your lean muscle mass, and you're thinking, well, I'm probably not getting enough protein in then. Okay, well, let's look at breakfast. What can we do to make your life easy and to make sure that you're getting some protein in there as well and some fuel in there? Maybe we could get some little pots of Greek yogurt that we can take on the go with us and take a banana with it as well. So we've got some Greek yogurt and a banana. Brilliant. Maybe we can make ourselves some overnight oats or even just get yourself a porridge pot. It's better than nothing. Get yourself a porridge pot. You could even add a scoop of protein powder into there as well. Something that's quick, something that's easy, or some overnight oats that you make the night before you put in the fridge and you take with you. Can you do anything like that just to make your life easier the next day? Or can you boil a load of eggs and use them for the next 2 or 3 days? So taking a couple of eggs with you and then maybe some toast, you whack some toast on as well. You take it all with you. Or you take some eggs and then a pack of banana, whatever it might be. Or you make your own oat bars, whatever you like to do. But just how can you set yourself up in the best way to do that that's in line with your goals? So just have a little think about that. But I hope that's helpful. Any tips to stop feeling so anxious when I wake up in the morning? Now, this is actually really, really common, and there are lots of things that you can do just to try and ground yourself and feel more at ease when you wake up in the morning. But I would say that it is important to speak to somebody like a GP who can refer you to CBT or refer you to talking therapies if this is having a big effect on your life right now as well. But early morning anxiety can be from stress, and that can be from just underlying stress, chronic stress. It can be from anticipatory worry. Get my words out. So anticipating what may not happen in the day. I call it the worries, having the worries about the day. Caffeine. So if you've had caffeine later on in the evening or the afternoon the previous day, it can be if your sleep is a little bit fragmented as well. And if, like I said, if it is something that is affecting your life and it's pretty persistent, I would go and speak to somebody as well. But these are a few things that you can do first thing when you wake up. So thing number one, I would just try some simple box breath, or you could do the 4-5-6. So box breath is where you breathe in for 4, you hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and hold for 4, and repeat about 6 to 10 times, somewhere in that range. It just slows the heart rate down and it reduces that feeling of panic. And do it before you check your phone. Don't check your phone when you first wake up in the morning either. So you can do the box breath, or you can do the 4-5-6, where you breathe in for 4, you hold for 5 counts, and then you release for 6. Again, repetition wise, do it about 6 to 10 times. It's no good doing it twice and then just moving on with your day. Like it won't work. So make sure you're doing it enough times to actually feel that feeling where you do feel more settled, where you feel your shoulders relax, where your jaw relaxes, and actually you just feel a little bit more at ease. So you could do that. You can even do it when you first get up, so before you even get out of bed. Grounding. So this is where you name a few things that you can see. So you can do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So name 5 things that you can see. Again, this might be when you wake up in the morning, you're in bed, you're looking around the room. 5 things that you can see. Name 4 things that you can touch. So your duvet, your pillow, maybe your sideboard if you've got one, etc. 3 things that you can hear. 2 things that you can smell. And then 1 thing that you can either taste or you can just feel. And it's a really quick and powerful tool just for reducing any panic, any anxiety, and just really bring you into the present moment rather than thinking about what's going to be happening in that day, anticipating what might happen in the day, hypothetical worries. Thirdly, a little bit of mini movement. So just standing up, rolling the neck, the shoulders, doing some shoulder blade squeezes, doing some stretches. Just a little bit of movement can get the nervous system out of fight or flight. And then what I was saying with the caffeine, think about your caffeine intake. So limit your caffeine in the late afternoon, evening, or if you can, push it before midday. And then make sure you're not having anything later on. And when you get up in the morning, try and avoid any big dose of caffeine on an empty stomach as well. And you could even try swapping to water or having breakfast first and then coffee after, etc. Other things that you can do that just help on more of a long-term basis is doing a bit of a brain dump. And you can do this before you go to bed, or you can do it in the evening, afternoon, where everything that you're thinking about that is on your mind, just write it down on a piece of paper and just brain dump. It doesn't have to be in a certain fashion. It doesn't have to be in a certain way. Just write it down on a piece of paper, download your brain so it's out of here on a piece of paper, and it's one of the best things you can do for clarity. Some other people do a worry window where you schedule a certain time in your day. So let's say 10 or 15 minutes in the evening to just have your worry time. Again, you can write it down on a piece of paper, or you can have like one line each. You could, screw it with a piece of paper and throw it away, whatever you want to do. But allocating a certain time each day to have that worry slot. So kind of like the brain dumping, but just allocating a certain time every single day and giving yourself so many minutes to do that as well. And then make sure that your sleep hygiene is good. So you've got a proper wind down routine. You've got a consistent bedtime. So you're going to bed at the same time and you're waking up at the same time every day. And your room is nice and cool and dark. And you're not doing anything other than just sleeping in your bedroom as well. So there's no kind of flicking on screens or on your phone or anything. Just use that as your little sanctuary to go to sleep. And then, as I said, if it's something that is impacting your life, I would speak to a GP and look into talking therapies, because that can be really, really useful. Okay, let's move on to a section about classes and routine. Should I be sticking to selecting either the 6 a.m. or the 6:30 a.m. class and maintaining that class through the week to make sure the week is well balanced? Really good question. So the way that I do the timetable is I make sure there is a really good balance of classes throughout the week and they all complement each other. So you have a few options actually. So option number one would be to either do or follow the 6 a.m. classes or the first slot, because they all complement each other day after day. You'll see that there's always a minimum of 2 strengths in there. There's some cardio, there's some holistic, and each day they complement each other. Exactly the same with the second slot or the 6:30s. So you could either follow those or follow those. And what I try and do is just take the thinking out of it. So all you have to do, your plan is already set. All you have to do is show up. And it's a really good idea to do your workouts at the same time every day. So whether that is you come to the 6 a.m.s or you come to the 6:30, or you just have your allocated time slot, maybe it's after work, maybe it's at lunchtime, whatever it is for you, because it becomes part of your routine. Then it becomes a habit and it becomes something that you just do. It's part of your identity. You are the person who sets your alarm for 10 to 6 and you're there doing your workout every day, starting your day in the best way, filling up your cup, feeling energized, and then you don't think about it anymore. And it's all sorted for you, it's all planned. All you have to do is turn up and you know that you've got a perfectly balanced week. So you can do that. Or some people like to do both of them. So what I also do, so for others who want to work out for a little bit longer, so if you want to do more than 20 minutes, you want to do 40 minutes, then you can come to both of them. So the 6 and the 6:30, or you follow them every day. So you could do 40 minutes a day. And they also complement each other. So you'll notice I'll never put a strength after a strength or a cardio after a cardio. I will make sure that all of the classes complement each other. So your week is still balanced. When I make the timetable, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like doing a puzzle. Anyway, I do that so that you don't have to think. Or you can literally do your own thing. You can go on demand. You can make your own plans. You can build it around you and what you're doing, your goals. But that's the kind of the idea behind it. So I hope that helps. For the stronger videos, I'm going back to your early numbered versions on demand, as I thought there'd be an easier introduction. Is this the case, or should I just pick up with a class as timetabled? That is not the case. So if it is Stronger number one, for example, it means that I filmed it 5 years ago. So each release of Stronger, it's the same principle. We got a warm up, we do a lower body track, we do a chest track, we do a back track. So they're the same. You might even find that Stronger number 3 is harder than 26, for example. It depends on you, it depends on your body, and also it depends on how much weight you put on your bar. So no, it doesn't work like that. It's just that is the reason I number them is so that you know you can see which release you like, for example. So Stronger is our choreographed weights class. So we move to the beat. It's higher repetition, lower weight, so it's more about muscular endurance, but it's fantastic for shaping your body. And the reason I number them is so that you can choose a release that you like and say you absolutely love, I don't know, Stronger number 25 and put it in your favorites. So we can actually refer back to certain releases. So that's the reason I do it. But yeah, the lower the number, the longer ago it was. So you'll probably notice that I look a bit different, that the camera isn't as high quality as we've got now. We've made a lot of changes over the years. So yeah, that's just what that is. Okay, now we're going to move on to the little niggles section. I have tennis elbow, but I really want to start doing weights. Is this a bad idea? In short, not necessarily. Not necessarily a bad idea at all. Obviously, we don't want to be aggravating anything, and it really depends on how it actually feels right now and how it feels as well at rest. Is it hurting at rest? If so, let's not put any load through it right now. If it's okay at rest and you do a lightweight session, it's not necessarily a bad thing. And there are certain things that, will actually help it improve as well, improve in strength. So the most important thing you can do is seek professional medical advice, and that's with any injury. So I'm not a physio, I'm not a medical professional, I am a fitness expert. But as a general rule of thumb, any sharp pains, stop immediately. Any sort of dull aches, monitor them and just see how you get on. And if it feels worse afterwards or feels worse the next day, maybe it's time to lay off it for a little bit. And don't forget that there are so many other strength workouts you can do when you do have injuries as well. So say you've got an upper body injury or tennis elbow. Well, what about doing the booty band for a little bit? Or you could do stronger, rack up the weights on the lower body part, and then when it comes to the upper body part, let's just really dial it back until we feel confident, until we can do a class. It doesn't hurt afterwards. You're not feeling it in a bad way the next day as well. It's feeling all right. And then we can just progressively overload it in time. So it's not a no, but it does depend on how much aggro it's giving you at the moment as well. And I do think that it is important, especially if you've been dealing with something for over 2 weeks, to go and see a physio. Usually the rule of thumb is if you have a niggle or an injury, and this goes for all of these questions, if you have a niggle, give it full rest for 48 hours, that area anyway, give that area rest for 48 hours, see how it feels. And if you can still feel it after a couple of weeks, it's time to go and see a physio or a medical professional about it. My knees sometimes twinge when climbing stairs or doing lunges. Will this improve with strengthening exercises, or should I avoid things like lunges? Generally speaking, lunges are fantastic for your knee strength and for your leg strength if they're done in the right way. If you're having some twinges when you're climbing stairs or doing lunges, it may be a weakness in the glutes, the glute medius, or your hip stabilizers. It could possibly be that. And strength training should actually help. So first, I'd be looking at your technique. So if you could send me a video of you doing a lunge, then I can have a look at your lunge technique. So that would be a first thing. And in the meantime, you can go to the how-to area on demand and we break down a lunge and what that should look like, etc., how it should feel. So I'd do that. Then I would also be thinking about doing things like booty band at least once a week. We may need to improve glute strength here and glute medius and hip stabilizers. So I would be thinking about doing those, even if this is something that is impacting you, which it sounds like it is, even when it's just, climbing stairs, doing booty band a couple of times a week or a booty band and a Pilates is an absolute minimum to try and improve your strength here and then see how things go with the lunges, as long as we've got the correct technique, of course. And then you can always, if it is bad, sharp pains, do go and speak to a physio or a medical professional about it. But to me, it sounds like that is what it could be. And it doesn't necessarily mean you need to avoid things like lunges, but I think we need to improve. Sounds like we might need to improve our strength in those areas. Other things that you can do in the meantime are things like squats. So you could do some squats, or like the offset squat that we're doing at the moment in Stronger could be a really, really good one. You do things like wall sits, glutes, clams, glute bridges, clams, etc. And also have a look at what your knee is doing when you lunge as well. Is it rolling? As in, is it rolling in? Is it collapsing in? Have a little look at that. And yeah, just send me a video and then I can probably check for you. And the last question is, when is a niggle something to worry about? So a niggle is something, I would say something to worry about if it's not going away after a couple of days of rest. And then after 2 weeks, if it's still there, then you do need to go and see somebody really. But as soon as you start to feel a little niggle, I would give that area a couple of days of rest. It is probably a sign that your body is a bit fatigued in that area. But with injuries, any sharp pains, stop immediately. It's just not worth it. It is really not worth it. And any niggles are like, yeah, like we all know our bodies. We all know, that doesn't feel quite right. Then there's no point in trying to push it. And what I would say with online is you have so much variety with what we do. Say you've got a niggle in your knee. Okay, well, let's give the knee a rest for a couple of days and let's focus on upper body. Okay, right, I'm going to go into the upper body strength area. Or let's focus on something that isn't going to put any pressure through my knee. What could I do? Oh, I could go and jump on the bike and do some cycle. Or I could do a power walking workout. Or maybe I'll do some aerobics and I might just, if there's any squats in it, I'll just skip the squats out and I'll jog on the spot instead when they do those. Or I'm going to do some Pilates and some yoga because I think maybe my hips are a bit tight and it might be pulling on my knee a bit. Just different examples, but just give yourself 2 days, see how you get on. If the niggle's gone, great, lovely. Just needed a bit of a rest, that's all. Anyway, team, I hope that's been helpful. I hope it's been useful. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in class. Have a good one, everyone.